Lesson 3: Eleanor Roosevelt, a voice for human rights. Let's learn. What are our learning goals? I can answer questions about civil rights, Susan B. Anthony, and Abraham Lincoln. I can explain the connection between Eleanor Roosevelt and the fight for human rights. What are our learning goals? I can demonstrate an understanding of the word admirable. I can write a free verse poem that explains my opinion about Eleanor Roosevelt's achievements. Vocabulary: admirable. Admirable means deserving of respect or admiration. George Washington had many admirable qualities. Devotion. Devotion is extreme dedication or attachment to a cause or person. Example: Susan B. Anthony's work was a lifelong devotion to achieving equal rights for women. First Lady. First Lady is the wife of the President of the United States or the wife of the governor of a state. Example: Mary Todd Lincoln became the First Lady of the United States in 1861 when her husband, Abraham Lincoln, became president. Human rights. Human rights are rights that are believed to belong to everyone, such as food, a place to live, and the right to an education and a job. Example: Eleanor Roosevelt devoted the last part of her life to improving human rights for everyone. Politics. The activities of the people involved in the government are activities that attempt to persuade people in government. Example: several former presidents continue to be involved in American politics. Let's explore. Our timeline shows Abraham Lincoln and Susan B. Anthony. Those are the two individuals placed on the timeline. What does the way these image cards are placed on the timeline tells you about the times in which Susan B. Anthony and Abraham Lincoln lived? Yes, they are placed in approximately the same place on the timeline, which indicates that they were alive at approximately the same time. What are civil rights? Civil rights are rights guaranteed by a government to all its citizens. What is discrimination? Discrimination is the unfair treatment of someone based on traits such as skin color, race, or religion. Here's a challenge question. What are some civil rights guaranteed by the United States? We are guaranteed freedom of speech, the right to vote, and the right to be free from discrimination. In what ways was Susan B. Anthony's fight for civil rights and Abraham Lincoln's fight for civil rights similar? Correct. Both fought to abolish slavery. In what ways were Susan B. Anthony's fight for civil rights different from Abraham Lincoln's fight for civil rights? Yes, Susan B. Anthony fought for women to get the right to vote, whereas Abraham Lincoln did not. How did Susan B. Anthony fight for equal rights for women? What did she do? Well, she started a newspaper, she gave speeches, she wrote petitions, and voted for president, although it was illegal to do so. This is an image of Eleanor Roosevelt at the United Nations. Today's Real Out is about a very important woman in American history named Eleanor Roosevelt. Eleanor Roosevelt helped people in many ways. She was married to a president of the United States, which allowed her to travel and see firsthand how many people struggled. In addition, after her husband was no longer president, she worked for peace and an end to poverty throughout the world. Continue to watch the rest of the video or the next video to learn more about Eleanor Roosevelt.